Welcome back, YouTube. Nick here, bringing you another episode in our track build series. Today we're finishing up a project that we started well over a year ago. A portion of our track is on the side of a hill and we go up and down it, originally through our open field, but now we have rerouted the downhill to go through the forest. This was a massive endeavor. We cleared tons of trees and had to de-stump, but now we've made our path, so it's time to build two berms. The first berm, which is a right-hand 90, is the subject of this video. You will immediately transition into a left-hand 180 berm that is carved out the side of the hill. We'll be back with that episode in the future, but let's jump right into this first one. We started by de-stumping and taking all the grass off the area so we could really understand the terrain we're working with and pour precise buckets. This section is on a slight downhill slope, so we know that when we build the berm we're going to hold water, but in the first one we're not going to put a drain in, so we really understand what we're working with before we make a long-term water solution. Alright, so let's jump into the build. We started by grabbing the backhoe and taking nice full buckets and pouring the perimeter of the berm. Beatrice has a little over a 1 yard bucket, so this berm, as you saw in the video, is pretty big. It took a lot of dirt. If you're wondering what our source is for this dirt, we're actually taking what we harvested when cutting the second berm out of the hill and using that to shape this. So I'll be back once we have this berm roughed in and looking a little better. Alright, now that the dirt for the berm has been poured, Dylan will start working on finishing the shape. This is a mix of box blade and bucket work. The key here is just even distribution of dirt about the slope you want. Once it's looking real nice and even, Dylan will flip the tractor around and roll the whole thing in. The berm's rolled in and looking fantastic. With a berm that is this long, we like to go lengthwise as well as up down when rolling in to smooth out the ridges in between. That's all the work for this weekend, so now we're back at it the next weekend. I'm here to help, and my first thought when I saw the berm was, hey, we should cut down this tree. It's really blocking our ability to groom the exit. So we'll start the day by cutting that down, and then we'll add some more dirt, fill in low spots, and really shape this thing up nice. We rinsed and repeated what we did last week to finish the berm, rolling it in vertically and sideways, and then I grabbed the hand rake to pull any rocks out that were on the surface. We really spend the time to finish these extra nice. We let them dry and then they become really, really hard and hold up to wear much better, so a lot less grooming. We did do some testing on the berm after our second day of building, but we didn't get any footage because it was later in the day. We're back out here the next weekend, and after a severe storm came through that we thought was just going to water the track, we have some landscaping maintenance to do, as you can see with all the down trees. We're going to clean that up and ride today. It will then transition to footage of riding the next day. We came out 2 days back to back. We got another 3 inches of rain, and as you can see, the berm has officially blown out. So once we get done riding this weekend and it dries out some, we'll be back to put a drain in. Alright, and we're back out here to finish the berm. This is 1 week after the riding footage you just saw. We couldn't catch a break and we got even more rain, so it is officially a pond, not a berm. The first step is going to be to widen the hole into the washout to get this water out. Once we've given the water some time to run out, we'll bring the backhoe in and start putting in a drain. It's officially drain o'clock, so we are taking the excavator and digging a trench where the washout was. I'm definitely not a drainologist, so we're really playing this by hand. We bought some 4-inch corrugated pipe that we've used in the past. What we'll do is dig a trench at a slope that feeds in at the height we want the drain to be and then exits at the height we want the drain to run out. And then after we put the physical drain in, we will kind of clean up the area around the drain and build a slight channel to make sure the water flows to where we want it. Alright, the drain is in. We've repacked and rebuilt the berm behind it, and we've also made that nice long trench at the foot of the berm to direct the water away from the berm itself and towards our drain. All that's left to do is shred this bad boy, so tons of riding footage to finish the video. As I mentioned before, be on the lookout for a build video with that left hand 180, which is right after. You'll see some sneak peeks. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know in the comments if you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.